My name is Magjan. I am a journalist from Kazakhstan. I'm glad to be able to make an interview with such a good sport lover.
Sure.
So, the first question is, you are famous sport. There is no much information about you in media. So please tell me, how did you become such a sport lover?
Well, good morning first. I'm happy to have an interview from Kazakhstan, first time in my life. So legally speaking, and also on transfers. So legally speaking, I have more than 450 cases before the Court of Arbitration for Sport, the CAS, and let's say that 15 or 20 of them are leading cases in which we have changed the structure of the legal football. So this is one thing, but I can't enumerate all of them, but there are a lot. And secondly, also I'm not doing too much transfers. I'm not a lawyer that is transferring, but mostly we are litigators. But transfers, yeah, we have done some. Like for instance, Zidane, when he came from Juventus to Real Madrid as a player, 2000. I did also the Agüero one when he went from Independiente to Atletico Madrid, then Atletico Madrid to Manchester City. And the last one, the last 2 or 3 ones that I did were the one of course, Neymar from Barcelona to PSG. I was a lawyer of PSG. And then the latest one was the Kepa, the goalkeeper from Bilbao to Chelsea. So, a few of them, but always picking the nice ones.
Okay. And I would like to ask, how involved are agents in modern football, to business of football?
Okay, they are involved, completely involved, and they are needed. Why? Because you have to deal with young players, and young players are either one agent with the father, the mother, or one from the family, or an external lawyer, an external agent, lawyer or agent only. Is needed because the guy is too young and is dealing with a lot of issues, contractual issues, image right issues, taxes issues, and he needs some people to understand the whole game and to deliver the best advice to him. So sometimes you have a bunch of people around, but there's always one guy leading, one agent who is leading. And my point is that you need to have one. When a client is coming, a football player is coming and says, Juan, I want you to be my agent. I say, no, I'm a lawyer, I'm not an agent. So you have to have someone who take care of you. From let's say, the first shot, where I have to live, what kind of city I'm going in. I mean, I don't know, if you go to Kazakhstan, a player from Spain, where to live, where to go. From that point until the last one, which is the contract, the image rights, the taxes, etc. So there's a lot. And when he's married, you have to see if the wife is coming, the children are going to which school, etc. So the agents are necessary. And then, of course, you have vice versa. When an agent is a football agent for clubs, and then this agent is seeking for a particular player for a particular club. And that is important, because if a club from Kazakhstan is coming and saying, I want a guy from Asia, because my federation needs that. I don't know if you have a number of foreign players, but in some countries, like in China or like in Saudi, you need to have one Asian player that is not considered as a foreigner, and so on. So I need that guy. And then you have to go and to see if you have the passport, if it's good enough, etc. So these are the agents for the clubs. I think that both sides are needed. One agent for players, one agent for the clubs. And is necessary, according to my experience of 35 years, is necessary to have an agent.
Okay. You told that you played such big football stars, and I would like to ask, how difficult is to work with with Lionel Messi, probably the best football in the history of the game.
Well, I had only one, but one big case with him. It was the case when he was swearing to a referee in World Cup qualification for 2018. It was, remember, a very, let's say, publicized case because he got 4 matches suspension from FIFA. And we managed to win all 4 after a long run in writing first, and then hearing 8 hours of hearing in FIFA appeals committee. So it was as easy as with any other player. The only issue here is that it's not a contract. It was his sporting life. I mean, it was going to be banned for 4 matches, which is the end of the qualification stage for Argentina. And Argentina was not well placed at that time. I think it was 6th, and they needed to be in the 4 first or minimum the 5th place. So for him, it was something. It was a legal point of view. So when it's illegal, you don't try too much to be involved with the player. You just want him to deliver. Did you say that? Yes. Did you mean anything against the referee? No, that's fine. And then you take all on your shoulders. You don't need too much because the players need to play, and that's all. So my experience with player is, let me do the work, let me do my legal work, and I'm not going to mess too much with the players. So they're on their side, they have the agent, the father is also working with him, and so on. So I let them work on their issues, and me, I work on my legal issues. And finally, we won. So this is the most important of the cases, winning.
Okay. And now, what can you tell us about his situation at Barcelona? Do you think he will stay at the club or not?
I really don't know. I mean, I'm not his agent, so I don't know if he's staying or not. He was on the verge to leave last August. In my opinion, legal opinion, he had the chance to leave, but of course, it would have been a case, a legal case, him against Barcelona. So my understanding is that he didn't want to litigate against Barcelona, and then now there's no president until the 7th of March, the new election of the president, and then I think that the new president will surely start to negotiate with him in order to have him stay. But we are already in March. There are only 4 months and a half to the end of the season, and I don't see that it would be easy to make his mind change. But you never know. His family is well set in Barcelona. Himself also has been the only professional club that he has been playing with. So just leaving that, with the new president, he might change his mind.
Okay. And about Neymar's move from Barcelona to PSG, this is the one of the biggest football transfers in the history. And what did you feel when this deal was made? And please tell me more about the deal.
Okay, it's not one of the biggest, it's the biggest one.
Yeah, right.
222 million euros. And I think that with the COVID and the new experience that we are facing now with the economics in football, I think that it will stay for a long time, unless Real Madrid wants to Mbappe and have the money to pay. But I don't think that it will reach the 222. This figure will stay for some years more. Speaking on terms of legal issues, it was simple. We have to deal with 2 issues. One, if the taxes have to be paid over the 222, which was not, I deliver my report to PSG saying no, there's no way that you have to pay more. And secondly, how to deal with the payment. When we had that, it was fine. I said, okay, we go to the Spanish league, which is what I did several times already with the other players. the first one 25 years ago, so I know what to do. You go there, you pay, and you have a meeting with a director of the league and so on. But the league refused to take the check. They refused to take the check. So we had to think about the plan B. And what's going to be the plan B? Okay, I just asked the lawyer of Neymar, my friend, Mr. Mota, and I said, okay, look, we need to go absolutely now to Barcelona and to pay the check to them, even though it was not the legal path. The legal path was to go to the league, but the league refused, so we have to go to Barcelona and see if they want the check or not. And if not, we have a third plan, the plan C, but I'm not going to disclose that plan, just in case that the future it's again putting me in a situation of having the refusal of the league and refusal of the club. In this case, Barcelona did not refuse the money. They got the check, and then it was just a matter of having the ITC, the International Transfer Certificate. It took a bit more than usual, because when you go to the league and you get the money, it's easy. But not doing that, it took 5-6 days more. But at the end, it was not that complicated. Much more fuss about the press and what's going on than legally speaking. When you're used, I had checks of this amount, and I have had cases of hundreds of millions too. I have big cases, and I didn't feel at that time really upset. I knew that the league was not going to accept because there was the press. So we had the plan B prepared and so on. So really, frankly speaking, yes, it's a huge amount. Yes, it's the biggest transfer in the history of football. But at my age, with the experience, you need to do the ABC. Always be cool. Always.
Yeah. Can we say now that Neymar's transfer your most memorable career case?
Well, on terms of transfer, it was the well-known one, but I like a lot the one I did with Kun Agüero. Was really not complicated, but somehow more difficult than that one. And on terms of legal proceedings, litigation, I love a lot the one I did with Messi, because it was really complicated, not easy one to win the 4 matches that FIFA imposed as a ban to him. So not easy. And then a lot of other cases throughout the world. I mean, like if you say, do you want more this son or this daughter? I say, okay, look, I love the same, all of them. So there's a lot of leading cases that have been involved. When, for instance, 74 people die in Port Said in Egypt. It was a huge case, and my club, Al Masri, was hugely sanctioned and severely sanctioned. And we managed to win the case, for instance. So it was really something. Strict liability of the club on the death of 74 people, and so on. There's a lot. The case of Paulo Guerrero, for instance, when he was banned for doping and he was not able to play the World Cup 2018. We managed to have him play the World Cup 2018, even though afterward he was sanctioned, but it was also something that he was needed, because he was 33 years old. It was the last possibility, and Peru was not in the World Cup the last I think 32 years, so it was his last chance. And we did a very good job with the team, and we won that too, and so on. There's a lot. I can't say that I prefer one or the other, because I remember the latest one, but the first one were also magic.
Okay. And now I would like to ask some Kazakhstan cases. So, in Kazakhstan, dual citizenship is prohibited by law. Should naturalized legionnaires give their country's passports in order to be able to play for the Kazakhstan national team?
Okay, there's a lot of countries that prohibited the dual national citizenship, and there are others that have the possibility to have 2, 3, or 4 or 5 passports. So England, for instance, US, for instance, but in Spain, my country, it's forbidden to have dual nationality unless you are coming from Latin America, Equatorial Guinea, and if you are a descendant from the Jewish that were ousted from Spain in the 15th century. So a part of those countries is forbidden. You can't be Italian and Spanish. You can't be French and Spanish. You can't be American and Spanish. If somebody says that, it's not true. It's not true, right? So Kazakhstan, yes, if you're a Spaniard and you want to play with Kazakhstan, you have to renounce to your own nationality to play with Kazakhstan. So there are countries in which you have to renounce and others that you have to keep. And there are some tricks. There are people that are keeping their nationality and saying they have renounced. So, you know, it could be. But in my opinion, if somebody wants to play for Kazakhstan, they have to renounce to nationality, and the same appears to be in Spain if you are not from those countries I've named.
Yeah. Okay. There is one case. We have one. His name is Konstantin Engel. He was born in Kazakhstan, but in early childhood he moved to Germany. Then he received an invitation, a call to the Kazakhstan national team, and invitation from Astana Football Club. Later, it turned out that club issued him a fake passport of Kazakhstan, and referring to this, Astana Football Club terminated the contract with him. So, meanwhile, Engel, I think, played 11 games for the national team. And who is the blame and who should be punished in such a case?
Wow, a complicated situation. What is the situation of the player right now? He still has his Kazakhstan passport or not anymore?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Club said that this passport is fake, but he played 11 games for the national team with this passport.
Okay, I had two cases like that with Armenia and players from Cameroon. The player is the one to blame first. The federation and the club are also to be blamed. And you have to demonstrate that you are not involved. You were not involved in this fake passport. I don't know what happened. If anyone was trying to discuss that and to sanction the federation of the player or the club, did anyone from other clubs or the federations? I mean, he played 11 games for the national team. Did anyone from other nations, other countries, try to seek for a better result? Because if Kazakhstan won a game thanks to him, did anyone did that, or it was just forgotten?
Just forgotten.
Okay, if it's forgotten, you forget that. But if it happens again, the player, the club, and the federation are the one to blame. That's for sure. Then, of course, you have to demonstrate that they were aware of the situation or not.
Okay. And I would like to ask, have you ever cooperated with Kazakhstan or not? And what do you know about our country in general?
I mean, I never worked with Kazakhstan. He is one of the few countries I never worked with. So I would be happy to have a client from there. But I never worked. I really never worked with Kazakhstan. It was, as I said, a few countries that I work around your place: Iran, Iraq, Armenia, Azerbaijan. A lot of countries around. Of course, China is also one of my best clients, and former USSR countries like Russia, like Ukraine are also so everywhere, but not from you. I know that you are a former republic of the USSR. I know that you have a rich soil, and then you're a rich and young country, and that football is developing a lot, but you still lack the last grip to enter to a World Cup.
Okay, yeah. Actually, that was my last question. So I would like to thank him for these minutes. And we are waiting for you in Kazakhstan as a guest.
That's up to Kazakhstan. I mean, if Kazakhstan Federation or Kazakhstan clubs or league wants me to go there to lecture about football, I will be more than happy to be there. And by the way, just to have people know about Kazakhstan, if you send me your interview, I will put it in my website, and then Kazakhstan will spread around the world with my name linked to yours. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, and I hopefully one of those days work or go to Kazakhstan. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Bye.
Bye-bye.